accountability call. It is Saturday morning, January 21st. This is a live call. All the details are in the lower third. You can get to the accountability tracker with the QR code. Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Good morning.
So this morning, I want to, I like sharing great quotes, but I also like trying to come up with good quotes or ways to think of things. And there was a guy named Howard Britton. He passed away a few years ago. He had a quote. It was, "Get out of judgment and into curiosity." Instead of saying, "That's not going to work for me," ask yourself, how do I make it work for me? And then, his whole deal was then all of a sudden, possibilities open up. And it's like yesterday we were talking about small hinges swing big doors, but it's that one thought, like instead of saying, "No way, I can't do this," you're saying, "I can." And how do I do it? And with this, for me, that was the process I went through and figured if I just set my alarm clock at 4 o'clock, I'd get up. It was really that simple. So for years, I'm watching a friend of mine going on, Facebook and talking, like working out in the morning. That was one of the things I started, I actually named the whole 4:30 psycho. That's what I called this guy. I would see him working out. He'd be posting these workout videos at 3 and 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. And I'd be like, man, the guy's a 4:30 psycho. But anyways, and then for years, I would say that I can't do that. There's no way I could do that. And then one day I was like, I can do that. And there was nothing different than that small little thought in my head that was like, I can do that. And then you're thinking, okay, how do I make that happen? And real simply, you just set your alarm clock. It was this big, invisible, like wall that I had to get over, but it really was something I could just walk right through. It reminds me of a story about circus elephants. The first couple of years of their life, they have them chained to this stake and they walk in a circle chained. And after years of walking in a circle chained, they take the chain off. An elephant thinks they're chained. They have this like invisible chain. So they don't realize how easy it is just to break through and just walk away. But they have that habit of walking in a circle for years. And, so once you embrace and are in curiosity, that was Howard Britton's quote, once you embrace the curiosity of, I think I could do this. And then you realize, it's not that complicated. Anybody have something right now that you would like to do, but you're telling yourself you can't do it?
That's a good question.
I mean, I don't know if I tell myself I can't do it, but I run this brokerage and I want to run this thing to like 200 realtors. 200 agents, and there's brokers in the area and in this state that are doing it. But sometimes I have a hard time seeing myself fully there. So we've been stuck at like 50 for like a year. It's like I'll recruit 2 or 3 really great guys and gals, and then all of a sudden, somebody their husband will get orders and they'll have to move, or they'll move to go live with their parents or help their parents that are aging. That happened to us last year. Lost 2 really solid agents, that were producing $30,000-$40,000 a year for us. So it's just that, trying to get there. I want to get there. I open a second office with the intention to get there. So it's just rough.
Do you think you're still in curiosity of how to get to 200, like to figure out like how those other places got to 200? You're trying to,
Sure.
I mean, because it's easy to learn from clues. I think, that I would have to, like, for me, the curiosity of like, how do you get there? Like, do I have, I don't know. I think in the real estate business, there's as you get older, you start to get a little disconnected from, certainly the younger agents, and I always like wonder how to, continue to resonate in that world, because I feel like a lot of people sort of you kind of age up into your client base is older, and I think as you get older, you get a little less connected. So I'm constantly trying to figure out how to stay relevant and connected and not like old guy Ron. So I don't know. What about you guys?
Yeah, man. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if maybe I'm just early AM, not really putting clear thought to it, but some of it is I just think every day it's just the some of the goals that are that you personally set come into question, but really haven't put in time towards or deep thought towards whether something's possible. I really do. I think some of it's mindset, where it's constantly a lot of self-talk and about that it is possible, and so I don't necessarily come across anything that I feel it's not capable, or maybe I just haven't set the goals high enough.
Yeah, I mean, this would be, and I'm putting you guys on the spot. This would be like an idea or something that you basically killed. Like you're like, I can't do this or whatever. So, like, I was scared to death of flying. I ran into a buddy of mine who just got his pilot license. And I was so impressed. That was right as I was getting into real estate. And I was like, that's how I want people to think of me. I want people to think of me like, oh, that guy's a pilot. He's sharp. And that was that idea was so strong that I completely forgot I was scared to death of flying. And then the first 8 lessons, I thought for sure I was going to die, and I was okay. It was a branding idea, right? I wanted people to not think of, hey, I've seen Ron around town, but oh wow, really? He's a pilot? That's pretty sharp, because that's the same effect that my buddy Jim had on me. And I should have that idea was so strong, I just locked onto it and didn't remember that I was scared to death. I mean, it was I thought for sure I was going to die, but I was okay. I was like, I'm doing, it's okay. Like mentally, I was like, if other people can fly, I can fly. Like I don't think I was the prototypical pilot, but it was an amazing shift in the way I approach things now. Flying is like make a mistake and you die kind of thing. So getting up early was something that I fought for. I didn't fought. I just thought it was crazy. I mean, literally, the guy I used to watch, working out in the middle of the night is where 4:30 Psycho came from.
Yeah.
He's called him the 4:30 Psycho. Like this guy's, and then it was just a funny thought in my head to just call this whole challenge. I'm trying to think. There's learning Spanish is challenging for me, but that's, I'm saying I can do this. I can do it. I'm finding it's not, I think as you get older, learning a new language is trickier because you have so many years of thinking in English, so I'm not even close to thinking in Spanish. But anything else, like anything you guys can think of? I know there's probably nothing top of mind because it's something you might have killed a few years ago. Killed the idea.
Yeah.
I know for you guys, it's like professionally, but for me personally, I'm a single mom. I've been a single mom for 7 years. Otherwise, I feel like I'm doing okay, like professionally, accomplished, bought a house. But the big thing for me was getting over heartbreak. And that, for me, that change in perspective to your quote occurred for me when I changed my mindset from I'll never get over this guy to I haven't met the one for me yet. And it's interesting. I've seen like how different opportunities have become available otherwise, even not even in a relationship way, but even, to open new avenues for career opportunities since I've changed my perspective.
Yeah. That's cool. There's this other quote, buddy of mine, friend of mine, Jim said it was, it's about self-sabotage, where like a lot of, I'm trying to think how the quote went, but so let's say you want to grow your brokerage to 200 agents, but it's easier to say I didn't try, therefore I didn't fail, and I'm okay where I'm at now because it's successful. But I'm not saying that's what it is, but there is a self-sabotaging component to I think, where it's easier, like mentally, you don't have to give yourself a hard time because it is this like next level of growth that maybe is unnecessary but desirable, but to get there you're worried about failing, so it might prevent you from like thinking or researching or getting into. I'm just using that as an example, Ray, because that was an example you threw out there, but that's same part of like the mentality of something is keeping you back from, like, okay, I think like Ray wants to do it, he's got to figure out how, and there, I don't think there's a component of that, but that would be the next step in that, is like really trying to figure out, like, how do we do this? How do we actually do it?
True.
I like your haircut too, Ray.
Oh, thank you.
Did you coif it up for us this morning?
No, man, that's so natural. Yeah, slept like this all night.
Most mornings my hair is crazy looking, and it's you guys can't see it with the light, but anyways, it's really interesting thing if you find yourself constantly saying, like, I want this, that'd be nice, but I can't do it, and then getting into curiosity, like Howard Brinton said. I wouldn't spend a lot of time figuring out why you're not in that curiosity enough to say I can do this, and then start mapping it out and having a plan and implementing that plan, and not worrying if it fails, because you're already happy where you're at, and if it doesn't fail, then voila.
Yeah.
We hit our time. A few minutes over. Hope you guys have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank